discussion. Bilingual education is an essential topic for parents in regards to the environment of Hong Kong. However, should children accept such education during their early childhood? Mrs. Ye may share the answer with her topic for today. Bilingual learning for children, focusing on early childhood education, 0 to 6 years old. Mrs. Ye, please.
Thank you for still staying here. I know it's already very late toward the fair. My name is Jessica. I'm going to be talking to you guys about bilingual education in Hong Kong. So I'm going to go through three topics. What is bilingual education? What's the current state in Hong Kong? And the do's and don'ts in achieving bilingual education. So this is my little one. He's turning 6 tomorrow. 5 years ago, I started this journey. I was having a celebration. He just slept through the night. He was celebrating his 1 year birthday. And I was in the September club with all of the monks there. And he started telling me about school. And I was panicking. And maybe like some of you here. Everybody's telling me about different types of schools. So I just decided to start researching on education. When he turned 18 months, he started speaking only English because I'm in a bilingual family. My husband only speaks English, and between the both of us, it's just easier to speak English. So when he was turning 18, I was 18 months, I was excited about him speaking in English, but my dad was like, "What's happening? Why isn't your child speaking in Mandarin?" I just got a panicky moment, and the parent goes, "You gotta start them with Mandarin." And that's when I started taking my education degree down the path of education. Let me tell you a little bit about bilingualism in Hong Kong. So in Hong Kong, the bilingualism mainly referred to bilingualism in Chinese and English. Chinese could be Cantonese or Mandarin. So most parents, I think, after speaking to a lot of parents here, want their children to have being bilingual, and either from having a little bit exposure to fully literate and fluent. So bilinguals have lots and lots of benefits, which means they could easier communicating, they could have a lot of awareness in different cultures, and they have a lot of career prospects if you talk about popular languages. So I want to share with you this approach, which some of the parents might know. So if you're learning, let's say, a second language at a later stage, at that time you already established your primary language, which means you understand your world in Cantonese or in English in one particular language. So at that time, when you're introducing a target language, which is your second language, the way to learn is to build a dictionary in your head. So you learn, you look at that object there and you say that's apple, and apple translates to the apple. And you do panda and you do same. So this is how adult works. When adult is learning a second language, they normally go through a dictionary and you refer to what's the corresponding language. And it's not an effective way to learn. And children does not need to learn in this way. However, this is the most approach people are taking currently. If you look at the effective approach to learn a second language or third language, the way to learn is use the object as a reference. So every time when you want to introduce a new language, especially in the early years, you look at the object and you say, you look at a Chinese person and you say it in Chinese, 苹果, and you look at an English person who say, okay, apple. You don't need to build translation, and you should not build translation. That means when you're accessing information, you're constantly going to the object, directly getting the language. So you're not going through a reference point. So your cognition basically execute faster. So you don't need to build translation here. So if you're always developing bilingual this way, you develop two separate pools of vocabulary, which means you develop a pool of that vocabulary in Mandarin, develop a pool of that vocabulary in Cantonese, and that also means your thinking process is completely separate. So they could intertwine, their parts are intertwined, but you are developing independent processes, which without building a reference system. And that also means our brains and mindsets is slightly different. So in my Chinese aspect, I think about family, friends, pandas. In the English aspect, I think about Broadway shows, movies, Trump, how annoying he is. So I think about it in different aspects. That means they not only influencing your language, they're influencing your mindset and the way you think. And this is the best way for children to learn because they can. They're starting from zero. Okay, so there's a lot of research on bilingual education. One of the most famous bilingual education studies is done in Canada, and Canada decided to implement English and French bilingualism in Canada. So they have done studies where they recommend from the early years to primary years, you should focus on the minority, the target language. So if they want to focus on 70% in the target language and 30% in the primary language, when it gets to 10, you can continue to kind of change your child to a 50-50 balance. And this is being well researched, which means you always focus on the target language first until they're fully bilingual. Now that we know what should be a bilingual education, this is the way that Hong Kong is currently. So you got the first row where your family is either Cantonese or Mandarin, and you're targeting a fluent English speaker. So when you target international schools, you target ESF, and you build very strong English foundation. There's a lot of schools there. And the second row is where there's a lot of English families here, where they want to take advantage of being in Hong Kong, they want to get Cantonese. So they go to the local schools with a lot of Cantonese. And I think sometimes they struggle because sometimes they find Cantonese immersion too much. And you got a third group. And this group is the one where I'm focusing on. So at home, you're either speaking English or you're speaking a mix and you're targeting Mandarin. And for those kids, there's only a limited set of private Mandarin and English schools out there. There's about 10, maximum up to 10 to 15. So it's really limited set. And to achieve English fluency is very easy in Hong Kong because there's a lot of it. But to achieve Mandarin fluency is very hard because there's very limited supply. And that's where my focus is. So why focus on Mandarin? There's a lot of benefits. For me personally, it's my heritage, it's cultural awareness, and secondly, it just opens up your child's career prospect. And thirdly, Mandarin being a tonal language, it actually develops the brain more than English. Okay, so a different tone of ma, 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 it means 4 different words completely. Versus in English, the different tone means the same thing. So that means if you're using Mandarin, you're using left brain and your right side of the brain. If you're speaking in English, you're only using your right side of the brain. That's why Mandarin speakers tend to have better pitch, better math skills, better cognition. So it is just a really superficial, like really beneficial language for everybody to learn, a tonal language. So I've worked with hundreds of parents now, a lot of them with mixed families where English and Chinese in their background. We have a lot of basically specialty in how to achieve Mandarin fluency, we're talking about target language Mandarin. I want to talk about when should we start, what not to do, and what to do. So this is a chart that's done 30 years ago, and this chart still holds true until today. The research is done by Charles Nelson, who's a pediatrics at the Boston Hospital, and the research is done together with the Harvard Medical School. And this chart shows where you see inside there is a blue square. That blue square is where the receptive language is being developed the most, and that is prior 5. So basically, the momentum of the dashed line, the momentum goes up to 1, and then it goes down a little bit, but it's still being developed. So from 0 to 5, golden stages of developing language. That's why children, the younger they start, the easier it is for them. Some parents are like, my kid is only 1. He's not even speaking my primary language. Why should I start with a second language? But just because your child is not speaking, it doesn't mean that your child is not intaking anything. Right? He's hearing and he's interacting, he's getting anything he's hearing. When he's actually ready to speak, he will burst out with any language he has listened or interacted with. So definitely I recommend children start young. 0 to 5 is the golden stage. And what not to do. So I've listed 3 points here. When you look at this, you might think it's common sense, okay? But I see parents do this a lot. Even though they know it's common sense, they still do it. So some parents focus on literacy very early. There are studies on, writing too early is bad for your child's muscle. There are studies on, starting too early, building just purely on reading and writing is bad because you're not focusing on the important part. Is speaking. You have to communicate orally first. You have to build interest in the language first before you try to read and write. There's a lot of people that I meet at later stages where they pass English tests, but they can't speak English. What's the point of focusing on literacy early without having the child being fluent? They gotta be liking the language first, they gotta be fluent first before they move on to literacy. Once they like the language, they will be literate anyways because they like to learn it. So you have to think about not building literacy too early. The second part, passive learning, right? It sounds bad, passive learning. But there's a lot of parents still do it. They do a lot of flashcards. I'm not saying flashcards is bad, but this research shows that children have very short attention span. So for every age your child is, it's about a minute attention span. So if your child is 1, attention span is 1 minute. If your child is 5, attention span is 5 minutes. So if you're putting a 5-year-old in a 60-minute rote learning flashcard, you probably will get 5 minutes out of it because attention span is about 5, unless you're taking a break in between. So young children should not be sitting down through yoga a lot. It's bad for them. It's not like there's no result, there's a result, but it's not effective. You should use the most effective way to get your child to learn. And the third thing is role learning. So in Hong Kong, there's a huge rave about speech competition. And I see children prepare 6 months going to a speech competition. It's awesome because they develop a lot of confidence, it's great for them. But in order to prepare one speech, they probably prepare for about 6 months straight. That's 6 months of learning that they could be doing actively. They could be inquiring about science. They could learn lots of things. I'm not saying speech competition is bad, but I think there should be a balance. People should think about inquiry as well as just purely developing role learning balance and speech competition. Okay, so I talked a lot about what not to do. This is what I recommend what to do. If you want to achieve your child in a second language or third language, it all applies the same in early childhood stages. The first thing is immersion. I work with people who are in bilingual schools. And in a bilingual school, there's different ways to implement bilingualism. Some schools have one Chinese teacher, one English teacher in at different times. Some schools have them in at the same time. The result is different. If both teachers, language teacher English and Chinese, let's say, in the class at the same time, and your child is proficient in only one at a time. So if your child is proficient in English, he will likely follow the English teacher. Your Mandarin instruction is not going to be as effective as if your child is in an immersion environment. And people know that if you go to China, go to Taiwan, your Mandarin will just rocket because you're in an immersion environment. You got no other choice. You're being in an immersive environment where you learn the language and you're using the language. So immersion turns out it works the best, and you should always choose immersion other than translating or other than just purely teaching language as a superficial language. The second thing is learning through play. So the prior speakers have talked a lot about learning through play, learning through experiences. It's because during the early stages, children are really just inquiring about the world. They should not be sitting down and just memorizing because those experiences are not relevant. They haven't built their connection between the concrete world and the abstract world. They should be learning from solid things. They should be learning through inquiring, experiencing, interacting and talking to mummies and daddies. And that's how we learn first languages anyways, right? Starting from when the baby is in the mummy's tummy. They hear mommy speak, they hear daddy speak, and they interact, and that's how they will acquire their first language. And third thing is that they should learn through interesting subjects. So there's lots of interesting subjects out there that they can learn that probably start later on in the primary year. So you can learn science. Children love science. You don't have to go to specific science classes, but if you're just doing your color mixing, you're doing learning about gravity, all kinds of stuff, children find it extremely fascinating. They love technology, they love art, they love sports. So children learn these through all these three. The combination of these three works really, really well. So I haven't explained. 4.5 years ago, after I was struggling to find my child a Mandarin preschool, we tried one. At the time, there was only one immersion school, and that school was very rural learning and traditional based. And so I decided to do an education degree and started my own school. So this is our learning framework. We have two programs. That one is playgroup and one is preschool. So during the playgroup, we learn a lot through senses. We're using the UK EIFS as a learning framework, which means that we're focusing on 4 learning areas. So we're focusing on language and culture, obviously. We're focusing on how they comprehend the world, using Mandarin as the only instruction. We're focusing on motor skills. Start from when they're crawling, then they're walking, then they're developing their fine muscle until they can write. And we've also focused on social etiquette, the Chinese part. The part that we're talking about sharing, the part that we're talking about collaborating, the Chinese cultural aspect of social. And in the early stages, they all learn through senses. When they go up to 2.5, we add in subject matter. So we add in calligraphy, we add in science, we add in art, we add in math. And this is the way the children learn. They're learning through the world using Mandarin as the only medium of instruction. This is a framework that we have. Feel free to come back to me if you have any questions. Um, and I want to just conclude here. So I've worked with hundreds of families so far, and lots of people say Chinese is too hard because, especially Mandarin, because Mandarin is not widely spoken in Hong Kong. I've seen a change there because I've seen more and more Chinese university students coming to Hong Kong to apply for graduate schools, apply for ECE degrees. So that means the teacher quality is going up. So we hire high caliber teachers, and bilingualism with enough support, it's possible. Especially there's more and more schools adding in Chinese and Mandarin curriculum. And the 3 tips is to start early. Your children won't get mixed up. This is proven. Science, experience, you can see it out there. There's so many bilinguals out there. If this is starting early is bad, how did other people develop bilingualism or multilingualism? Immersion is best. You gotta push for immersion rather than translating. Stop. I see parents constantly translating for kids. You don't understand this? Let me translate for you. Translation does not help the kids. It just gives them a lazy way to continue the language. And thirdly, target it like a first language. Don't think about it as a second language or third language. Children don't need it. Children start learning anything between 0 to 6 easily because their learning curve is really going up. When they go up to 6, they go down. So between 0 to 6, it's a perfect time to aim it and using it and learning it like a native language. I think that's the end of my presentation. Does anybody have any questions about bilingualism, bilingual education, or Chinese learning, Mandarin learning? I suggest them to start at 0. And at 0, basically what you do at home is that you can play Mandarin music, you can get a lot of storytelling. There are so many things now. We have a list of iPad apps, music stuff. You don't need to give them screen. You just put it in the background where they can hear, because they're passively hearing it, right? And then at 6 or 7 months, when they can sit in a playgroup setting, they go in to learn because they'll be interacting with the teacher. The teacher will be doing something. Where, for example, when we're learning about color, we'll build a tunnel, and then we'll use different colored ball to go through the tunnel. When the color ball coming out, they're like learning the color about that ball. This is the way to learn color. Rather than flashcard red, it doesn't work, right? So they can start at 0, you can get a lot of supplements at home. And then as soon as they can go into a playgroup setting, they can learn class. And then after that, you also support a lot. So we have a digital flashcard that we send out, we have a lot of cards, we have books, and you can supplement a lot. Does anyone else have any other questions?
That's big in my
Okay, so in bilingualism and multilingualism, a lot of people use to recommend OTOL, which is what you said, one person, one language. So recent studies have shown that if you don't start very, very early, it's not effective. Because I see that kind of background a lot. You got a Chinese mommy, you got a French daddy, and the Chinese mommy, you speak Chinese to the kids translate to French, and then they come back and forth, they go back to one common language, which is English. And then the mommy gets frustrated, oh, why isn't my child replying back to me in Chinese? It gets very frustrating. This OPOL only works starting from birth. So if starting from birth, you constantly speak to your child in one language, daddy speaking in one language, it doesn't get confusing. But if you didn't start from early, which means that you start with one language only, and you introduce a second language, it gets complicated because basically you feel frustrated throughout the day. So the best way to do it is there's two type of ways. One is context based, one is timing based. So what you can do is that if let's say you need to speak two languages, right? So you can do morning English, afternoon Cantonese. You can do Monday English, Tuesday Cantonese. Well, context based. So I know families who are multilingual where they would say, "Daddy Spanish, Daddy talk about the standard. He'll be talking about newspapers in Spanish. Mommy talk about food. Food context is mommy. Mommy talk about school. So they use different context based. And both of these works better than OPOL because it's just not practical. Because there's too many languages in the family. You gotta all have a common conversation, right? Otherwise you gotta be like, oh my god, this is not a family. So cherish your family time, which means your common languages, let's say English or Cantonese, whatever you want to use, because family bonding is important. Then dedicate the special time for language base. So if mommy can speak Mandarin, mommy do an hour Mandarin at night every day. Daddy speak Cantonese, daddy do breakfast time every day. So that works better rather than destroying your family. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, great, thank you. So I've got my email there. If you guys have any questions about bilingualism, bilingual education, Mandarin education, feel free to email me. Thank you.